Today on the channel, what a rush with Rush Collectibles, Chris Van Vliet.
And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another Rush Collectibles unboxing and review. And today, we got the long-awaited, highly anticipated Chris Van Vliet figure. But for all your Chris Van Vliet figure needs and all your other Rush Collectible needs, hit up rushcollectibles.com, hit him up on Instagram as well. A lot of stuff coming from Rush Collectibles, of course wrestlers, but we're also seeing a lot of monsters, some Kickstarters, a lot going out there, and of course one of the most controversial figure makers in the game. Some say controversy creates cash, and he did come out with a Donald Trump figure. That sold out pretty fast, so something's going on in the right direction for Rush, at least as we see on social media. But a lot of people, of course, have went back and forth. So there's a lot of controversy with this toy line, but like I said, sometimes that controversy raises awareness. People are talking about it, and by people talking good and bad, it brings awareness to the line. And I have to say, personally, the line has improved. Now, I unboxed the first ones on the channel with Larry Zbyszko, Bronson Reed, Roadblock. I had one Larry Zbyszko figure of that whole bunch that kind of crumpled in on the unboxing. So check out that unboxing if you missed it. However, the French Angel was the second round of their new style figures, whatever you want to call it. French Angel, say what you want, obviously a very deep-cut character, but I felt that figure was a heck of a lot better than the first round of Rush Collectible figures, and it looks like Chris Van Vliet is keeping that tradition alive. Constant learning, constant improvement, we say it all the time, so on the surface, this looks pretty good, packaging and everything, and of course, we're going to dive into this unboxing right here on the channel, and we're going to do this review like we do all the other reviews on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging, we're going to talk about it, we're going to unbox it, we're going to talk about it, we're going to see where it goes from there. And Chris Van Vliet, I guess that's where this is more than just a wrestling line, and I guess most people do know him from his YouTube wrestling interviews over the years. Check him out on YouTube if you haven't seen him yet. But it could also be an interviewer in your collection, whatever you want to do with this one. I know if I was a kid, I'd be using him to do promos and stuff with my Hasbros. I can imagine that going on. And he was with AEW, if I'm not mistaken, at the beginning infancies of AEW as a little bit of a announcer, interviewee as well, or interviewer back in the time there. So an interesting figure here. Obviously not going to be for everybody, but it is interesting. Of course, has a fan base, so you can imagine those people maybe that like him don't collect wrestling figures, but they want him in their collection. We know how that goes as well. But let's dive into it here. Nice glossy plastic packaging over the top. Resealable, removable backing on this one. We'll dive into that, of course. You get the figure right here, I believe. Yes, it comes with a microphone right there in his hand. I got the Rush Collectibles logo, Chris Van Vliet. Does say special edition as part of the Ringmaster set here. Ages 18 and up, Mark Summers. 17-year-olds, get the heck out of here. This is way too dangerous for you. On the back, got a little QR code action, got a little bit of tail of the tape, got a little glamour shot, Ringmaster, all the usual suspects here. Let's see what it says about our old friend, Chris Van Vliet. Chris Van Vliet from Pickering, Canada. Oh my gosh, beautiful this time of year, right? Todd McFarlane? Todd, you're from Canada. You ever been to Pickering? You drove through there one time. Oh my gosh, you couldn't wait to get out? You heard that Van Vliet family was after you, so you said, I got to get the heck out of here. Is that what you're saying? Todd McFarlane on the couch, my Canadian expert, of course. I've never been to Canada. I'm making plans. I think I'm going to go up to Thunder Bay. That's the closest Toys R Us to me. I'm thinking about going to Thunder Bay, Ontario, isn't it? Ontario? You might see me there next summer. We'll see what happens. But from Pickering, Canada, but now residing in Los Angeles, California. What do you think about that, Todd McFarlane? You spent a lot of time in LA? I figured you did. You got that tan. It's sun-kissed tan over there. Not hot dog tan, sun-kissed, Todd. Yeah? Okay, well, and yeah, and you can't escape the Van Vliets. They were chasing you in Pickering, Canada. Now they're chasing you in L.A.? Oh, hard times for old Todd on the couch. Four-time Emmy Award winner, YouTube personality. Follow CVV on social media. It shows all of his handles, all that kind of stuff going on right there. Looking good, though, and I'm going to get the old box cutter out as it is taped on the side, so you will know if this has been removed, like I am doing right here, but you'll have to kind of crack that tape, crack the seal, Once it's unsealed, it's never going to go back quite the same, as we know. We're going to pull Chris Van Vliet out, and then you can just slide that bad boy right back in there. Save that for if you want. Oh, I almost missed it. We got a little trading card action in here. Can I get this trading card out without destroying it? That's the question. That's the million-dollar question. For the million-dollar man, where's Ted DiBiase when you need it? Hand painting by Hugo Bravo. Hugo Bravo, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody fact-check this. Todd, you were from Canada. I don't know if you know about the eastern side of Canada or not. Hugo Bravo, actually the son of Dino Bravo. Yes, it's true. Hugo and Dino way back in the day. Does say Chris Van Vliet down here. Of course, he will autograph this for you. I'm sure if you run into him, he will autograph this card for you. I would assume. I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I have a feeling Chris Van Vliet would autograph that for somebody if they brought it to his attention. I have to imagine. See you later. Goodbye. Let's dive into Chris Van Vliet. How about? We'll start with this microphone. Microphone removable. Very short handle on this microphone here, but it does got the Chris Van Vliet logo right there. Black microphone. Ready to go. How tight is it? Is it one of those ones? It will fall out, so you got to be a little careful with that. It will fall out. So be careful. Don't lose your microphone there. But here it is, Chris Van Vliet out of the package. And I guess at first it kind of reminds me of Justin Roberts a little bit. I guess they got kind of a similar little bit of a look. But it does look like Chris Van Vliet too. Obviously a very cartoony style of him. I mean, it does look somewhat like him. But if somebody handed me this, said, who is this guy? I would have no idea. And I think most people would have that same, like, I don't know who this is. Just handed me this. I don't think Chris Van Vliet is one of the things that can come to my head right away with the looks of this one. What you say is Chris Van Vliet, I could say, okay. But if you told me this was Justin Roberts, too, I could probably say, well, that could be Justin Roberts, maybe. But a decent-looking head scan there. Obviously, up there in Pickering, Canada, they take good care of their teeth. White, fine white teeth on this one here. Good haircut you can set your watch to. 2 ears, 2 eyes, a nose, and a mouth. He's playing those human hits. We know it's a human hit right there. He does got articulation in the head. There is a little bit of a gap there. I wish the head fit just a little tighter, but just a hair of a gap in between the body and the head. But good tan color on this one here. And a beautiful suit on this one. I love a good blue suit, brown shoes. Looking very nice, looking very fancy here. I will say he's got the pocket square. That's always a step above. A power move. You're right, Todd. That's a power move with the handkerchief right there. Now, the tie is a little bit strange there. I don't know if this is casual Chris Van Vliet because the tie is down a little bit farther here. The tie should be all the way up to your neck. And let me tell you, from a guy that had to wear a tie to work for like 20 years, I don't have to wear it anymore. Times have changed. Like young Bob Dylan, the times have changed. We don't have to wear ties like we used to. You wear that tie a little tighter up there. This one, I guess we'll just say he's loosed out. It's a casual interview. That's what he's doing. He says, hey guys, I'm taking the tie down a little bit. Let's have a casual interview. But that tie should be a little bit higher there into the collar for sure. 2 buttons on this one, and both are buttoned. I don't know about that. I don't know. Some people, there's controversy on how many buttons you go to on your sport coat, of course, as we know. Now, the arms, very tight articulation. Arms all the way around. Of course, there's no Hasbro mechanisms, anything like that. It's just straight up articulation. But arms go around very nice and tight, very smooth joints on this one. Head back and forth. No waist, no nothing. It's just the head and the arms. That's all you get out of here. And he's got the gripping hand for the microphone. He's got the shaking hand, slapping hand, paint brushing hand, whatever you want him to have. But he does have that going on. Down to the feet, nothing on the feet, nothing going on there. And, of course, no hole in the foot either to tell what foot this or to put it on a stand if you want to. So he's just going to have to stand on his own, which he will. He will stand on his own. So, of course, holds the microphone as we talked about. Not bad. Definitely constant learning, constant improvement. This is a far cry from those early figures like the Larry Zbyszko. Definitely we have some improvements right here. So that is a very good thing. But sometimes, is it too little too late? I guess the future will tell us on that one there. But not a bad figure, especially if you're a Chris Van Vliet figure fan or a Chris Van Vliet fan. You're going to maybe want this figure to represent your fandom, of course. But would have liked to see that tie a little higher. Would have liked to see it a little tighter in the head. But besides that, a perfectly good suited figure would be great in your fig fed if that is your thing. Great to have an announcer, great to have an interviewee, whatever you want to do, or an interviewer once again on that. Now, we have got suited ones in the past. We got that Josh Chernoff figure back in the way back. Gosh, 5 years ago, 4 years ago, what is time? We do have that one there, of course. Got the Mean Gene Okerlund Mattel, kind of putting these guys next to each other here. Don't forget Kurt Fuller, another suited guy from the Grapplers and Gimmicks line, a lot shorter than Chris Van Vliet there. And then, of course, Smart Mark Sterling from Zombie Sailor. That's another guy in a nice suit. 2 guys in beautiful blue suits right there. And then I talked about earlier, I mentioned that French Angel figure French Angel looking very good. Scaling decent there in their own little world, I guess. And that's one thing. These two are in their same sets together. These are part of the Ringmaster. These guys are different companies. So scaling all over the place, as we usually do know here. But Chris Van Vliet coming in hot here at the table today. What are your guys' thoughts? First off, are you a fan of Chris Van Vliet? Secondly, you ever been to Pickering, Canada? How beautiful is it? Oh, don't be shy. Let me know in the comments down below. And then thirdly, are you picking up this figure? Let me know in the comments down below. When you made it this far, don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Turn on the old notification bells. We got videos there every single day. And then some. We got even more content for you, of course, over there on Patreon. Patreon, best way to support this YouTube channel and all the content it does bring. Both channels' videos funnel up to the old Patreon. ProWrestlingTees.com, search Kyle Peterson. TikTok now, yeah, you can check the dance moves out. SirPaul64 on the X, _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, and on Instagram. So for Chris Van Vliet and Rush Collectibles, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.